What's up, guys? How are y'all doing? I am going a little rogue today. Don't tell Ben Terrell, but he's just not here. He's out of the office today, so just kind of wanted to do something for fun to hang out with everybody and just to kind of play around with the if tool. Like I guess I'm over here, writing emails and like doing social posts all the time. I don't get to play around with the if tool as much as I would love to, and I thought this would be a cool way where you guys can interact with me personally and just kind of play around with this tool that I think is really cool. So let's check it. So I saw Paul Sinfield already posted an automation. I know it's not necessarily within ChatGPT, but we can kind of run through that really quick. And let me throw this logo up here. How's the sound? I think everyone can hear me, and the video is good. The sun just came out here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is great. It's been raining for weeks now. So, and then we got something from the Dallas Texan. Let's go. Cool. Well, yeah. So the concept of this live stream that I just wanted to do today is play around with our ChatGPT integration. So it's a really cool tool. Basically allows you to interact with all the tools you've connected with IFT, but inside of the ChatGPT interface. So that means like you can send Slack messages, send emails, set up calendar invites. You could write social posts inside of ChatGPT and then post them to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, just by asking ChatGPT to do it. So it's really cool. Let me see. Oh, cool. Can we get IFT GPT to send random flirty notifications throughout the day? I mean, I'm pretty sure you could set something up like that. We've got a lot of cool like AI prompt tools internal to IFT, and we can kind of play with those too if that's really the direction you want to go. But first, let me answer Paul Sinfield's question. I know I was a little bit late, but that was just because I was kind of setting up this automation real quick. So let's do another screen. All right. Let me throw this on the screen. Okay, here we are. Just pop this over here. All right, so Paul has been trying to get IFT to draft blog content based on info submitted to a Google form, and then post a draft in WordPress and set a task to tick to review. Please, could you cover a similar scenario? Again, this is it. We can pop back to ChatGPT, but I just wanted to walk through this because I thought it was a cool use case. So let me hide your question real quick. All right, so I just set up a quick test form. And honestly, I just connected Google Forms on this account. So let's see if this all works. So I'm in our, here, I'll just bounce back. I'm in our create tool, super easy. Since you are watching, there's a cool AI beta thing that we're about to launch in a few weeks. Just want to hint at that because if you see that and it looks different than yours, I've got an admin account and allows me to look at all this stuff. So let me jump into this. So let's look at Google Forms. New form response. Let's do, the form is test form submission. I've got it. I'll show you kind of what it looks like, but I'm going to create a trigger. All right. So I've only got one question and it says WordPress. Hello, write a WordPress blog. Okay. I'll just show you kind of what it looks like. So this is what it looks like. This I'm going to use as the prompt to write that blog. And then we're going to do the queries and stuff on the drip as well. So let's go back to our IFT account. We're going to, I don't have WordPress connected. So just say create a post. I don't have WordPress connected. So let me just, let's play with Google Docs as something in the middle. All right. Because I haven't connected Google WordPress, let's just do, we're going to create this action real quick. And then we're going to go inside of here and we're going to do a query. Okay. So you want to write a blog first. That's the first thing you want to do. Let's do content creator. I want to draft content on a topic. The tone, we're going to be super funny. The topic is going to be the question 1 title, because I only have one question on there. And the language is going to be English. We're going to default to English. So we're going to create query. We're going to go, what are the other things you wanted to do on that? You want to draft the content, post it to WordPress, and then send a task to TickTick. So basically, we're going to draft the content. We're going to create the document, and the content is going to be the draft content from a topic. So we're just going to throw the whole content in there. All right. And because it's a blog, we can add the title right here. And I know this isn't one-to-one like our WordPress integration because it is in Google Docs, but there are similar questions that you're going to be answering in WordPress about what the blog post is about and then what the title is going to look like. So you basically, whenever you add this ingredient here, you kind of choose the query since we just added that query, and then choose whatever content within that query that you want to use. All right. So we're going to update that action and basically just say that this is your blog because it is pulling that whole draft and creating that blog. And then I also don't have TickTick connected, but I've got something like Todoist, right? That's like a project management tool. Say create a task, not new form response, but let's just say new blog post written, right? We don't want to do form name. We're going to do like the title of that blog. And then we're going to, just do the title of the blog. That'd be a good idea. Let's create action. The only thing it is, it's not pulling the post. If there was a WordPress in here, we could probably pull the URL of that published piece of content, right? So update action. So Paul, throw in the chat. Is this answer any of your questions? And I would say I probably should have had WordPress connected to kind of do a deeper dive on that. But if you are wanting to look at the URL that is being published, then you could set up let's just cancel all of this. All right. We could dive into WordPress. This time on my applets, go back to Explorer. And then details. Any new post that is fired. So you can set up 2 applets. So one that publishes a post to WordPress, and then the following applet, this would be like, hey, if I have a new post that gets published, use this trigger, and then you can send that to your TickTick. So maybe not all in the same applet, but do it in 2 applets. It's the AI bit you're stuck on. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that's in the query. And honestly, just play around with them. You can use the AI prompt, and that makes it a little bit more customizable. So if you want to kind of customize how the draft content looks, then you can write all that stuff inside of the AI query. So cool. There's a lot of comments on this. What's up, Jim? Yeah, you almost missed this one. I'm glad you're here, dude. All right. So let's get back to Chat GPT. All right. What other questions do we got? I know Dallas texts in, let's be on time, please. My bad, dude. I'm here though. So let's get this rolling. I would like to have IFTTT start a scan of Gmail accounts with ChatGPT or some other AI and give me insight into what's in my inbox. I have over 125,000 emails saved from the past 10 years. Wow, that's a ton. I'm not exactly sure if IFTTT can scrape your email. Let's just test it. Let's play around with it. So, hey, Let's share this tab. Just want to confirm. Yeah, you're seeing what I'm seeing. Hey, I've got Tripp at IFT.com connected with you. It's, the IFT automation assistant. Let's personify it. Do you have the ability to read my emails and scrape them and tell me who's emailing me the most? Let's just see it. It's kind of cool. So if you are curious about like what tasks you can do on IFT, okay, so they can exist with actions related to sending emails, but I do not have the ability to read, scrape, or analyze your emails. It's probably good. We have a lot of people that are worried about privacy out there. So this is a good, for privacy and security reasons. That makes sense. One cool thing Dallas Texan that ChatGPT paired with IFT could do, and one of our users actually does this. So let's just share this tab. So this is an example spreadsheet. I literally Googled like general Google Sheets that I could download, right? So this is just a bunch of random data. So you could file, download this in a CSV, okay? So I've got this example spreadsheet over here. Now let's go back to ChatGPT. You can upload this, where's that example spreadsheet of class data? Just press enter so that it like can read and analyze that spreadsheet. And it's going to tell us, give it a little bit. It's a computer. Oh, you ran into a bug. Okay. Due to various reasons. Let's just do it again. Let's regenerate. Yeah, we're still having problems. Let's just re-upload it, okay? It was able to analyze this document earlier. So sometimes you just run into a bug, and whenever it times out or something like that, it's going to give you an error message. You just kind of repost things, regenerate. If you don't like the response sometimes, okay, come on, keep working. You got this. Okay, perfect. So I have successfully loaded the data from this spreadsheet. Now it's telling me what the data looks like. All right. So one of our users actually mentioned in that they will, upload a CSV of data into ChatGPT and then say, hey, can you tell me what this data means, right? Or check this out. Can you write a story on this data? So it basically has all this data. Now it's going to like generate this narrative on what the data means. And they'll literally just then say, I might even just pause it. Alexandria, a senior majoring in English from California, shines as the star of the university's drama club. Okay. So it's telling me the story, and then they'll pause. I just want to quit it because it will go on forever. And then you can say, hey, can you, I don't even know if I have a Webflow. If I had a WordPress account connected, upload that as a post to WordPress, right? It would do that. And then inside of ChatGPT, you can just upload any document any story you're writing, any blog you're writing. You can literally just send it to WordPress and post it. on your behalf. It's really cool. But since I don't have WordPress connected, can you upload that as a document to Google Drive? All right, we're still analyzing. Have we stepped the band? Yeah. What's in the spreadsheet? Okay, cool. What's up, Joel? In filter code and the code generator option of run or skip action between times, is it possible to edit the generated code to use a floating time like sunrise or sunset? Confirm. So a lot of what ChatGPT does, you do kind of have to confirm whenever you're posting out. Okay, come on, you got this. Indicates we hit a 404. Okay. Okay, cool. All right, well, thank you. Perfect. I have a lecture routine, which is location triggered to disarm my alarm system and turn off TV. Is it possible to use if to power the lights only if the routine is triggered between sunset and sunrise? All right, Farrell, and there was another guy that wanted to do a sunset, sunrise. We've got, I would suggest using the IFT. Here, let me bounce away real quick. Okay, so sometimes you run into errors, and this just happens on the internet. And then you just kind of move forward. So if this was on WordPress, it probably would have had an easier access to just add that post, since like if it's connected. I probably should have done a better job here of telling what subfolder to add the document to. Like this was a very lazy and limited prompt, in my opinion. I know we had a few people talking about sunrise and sunset. So let me jump on IFT real quick. All right, let me just share this tab. Okay, so when you're trying to automate stuff with sunrise or sunset, check out the Weather Underground integrations. It has all these triggers. So you're basically triggering your automations based on the accurate temperature outside, but also has sunrise and sunset. So if you want to like automate your lights based on that, I would suggest using those as triggers. And then, yeah, basically, I don't know if that answered your question, but that's the best way to automate stuff based on the sunrise or sunset. A lot of people use it. We've got a lot of applets running off that. So let me go back to ChatGPT. Perfect. All right. What's another question? What's up, man? What's up? We got Box Lane Productions in the chat. All right. So for an assistant, can we have it read timetable and message from Box Lane? Read a timetable and message into Discord or Google Sheets every time each event happens. What do you mean a timetable? What is that? Am I dumb for not knowing what a timetable is? Yeah, explain. Let me know what a timetable is. I'm trying to think of a good way. So like, let's say you can definitely message into like Slack and Discord, right? Do I have Discord connected? So inside of ChatGPT, I've got my Tripp at IFT email. but it's not currently enabled. Okay, to use Discord, I'd have to go to the Discord page and actually enable it. Do I have Slack enabled? Yes, you have Slack enabled. So, Boxland, I will say what ChatGPT is good for is like as your personal assistant. It's not good for long-term automations. I would just use IFT, honestly, to trigger some of those automations. So, like, for instance, can we have it read a timetable and message into Discord or Google Sheets every time each event happens? If your timetable is on the internet, you could probably get an RSS feed from that and then use our RSS feed trigger. So whenever the timetable is updated or whatever, then send a message into Discord or Google Sheets every time each event happens from that RSS feed. That's probably the best, or use a webhook. Webhooks are the exact same thing, and a lot of digital tools use webhooks, and that could be your trigger, and then update that every time each event happens. What ChatGPT is really good for is like, let's just all sit back in our leather bound chairs in our mahogany paneled room, all right, and pretend that we are like this billionaire CEO, okay? And we have a team of personal assistants that we can ask do things for us, right? I personally, I'm in a normal room in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I don't have a team of personal assistants, but ChatGPT is kind of like that. And I would suggest kind of thinking through it that way. So it's like, let's say I have an idea. Hey, I've got an idea of a great live stream. It will include my best friend, Ben, and we're going to interview the CEO of TickTick. This isn't true. If you know the CEO of TickTick, have them reach out to us, though. We love kind of interviewing CEOs of tools on our platform. We can just chat about it. So if you know them, please reach out. Can you build a script for us and actually, let's do, can you write a series of questions for the CEO of Tick that Ben and I can ask during our live stream. So I'm prompting ChatGPT to kind of build out content for me, or even just do the first draft of that content. And this is something like if I had a personal assistant and hey, look, I've got this thing coming up. Can you like maybe think through and ideate some questions I can ask? Introduction, background, vision and mission, product development. So these are great like questions. And then let's say that personal assistant comes back with these lists of questions. I look them over. I don't want to change them, or I could change them. I could always, let's just pause this. He's going to keep going. I could always like regenerate right here, or say, hey, that was a great list. Can you focus more on productivity and how to be more productive as a CEO? Right. And then it's going to generate a new list, but understanding the context of what it sent me before. Boom. So now it's a little bit more focused, and this is great. All right. So let's just pause it right there. Thanks. Can you send this list of questions to my best friend, Ben Terrell, on Slack? Right? Or, yeah, you can send it on Slack. Not sure. I don't know if there's a character count on Slack limitation. But for example, you can send this as an email, or add those questions to your favorite productivity tool. So like ClickUp or Asana or Trello. Um, invalid channel. Okay, now let's say, can you send it to, is his name at Ben Terrell? Ben Terrell on Slack. What's his Slack message? Oh no, it's limiting me. Boom, we've got 30 minutes left. Okay, so I've reached my cap. Looks like I've been using GPT-4 a little bit too much today. But that goes to, I guess, the limitations of ChatGPT and ChatGPT-4. But to finish that context right there, yeah, just try and think of ChatGPT as like a way to ideate content and then post it to different channels or project management tools, or send a text message, or send a Slack message or an email. So let's do some other stuff. Is it possible to send the output to a custom applet? This is from Jim. What's up, Jim? All right, so no, unless you wanted to use IFT webhooks to maybe trigger something like that. I would suggest, so like, let's say you're using ClickUp as your project management tool, right? And you want to write a blog inside of ChatGPT and then send it to ClickUp, like to a specific list on ClickUp. And then inside of IFT, like on IFT.com, you have that applet that trigger a new task is added to this list on ChatGPT. Then that could trigger a series of automations from there. Did that answer your question, Jim? So you can't really, so yes, you can send the output. Like if I wrote a blog inside of ChatGPT and I wanted to send it to WordPress, I could send it there. Webflow, I can send it there. If I want to send it to a Slack message, I can send it there. An email, I can send it there. And then if you have an applet inside of IFT that's set up to basically trigger or run an action when something new shows up. So like if I had a new WordPress post inside of WordPress, I could run that automation from IFT on that point. Does that make sense? All right. Walter, you're asking, how can I have IFT delete a row of data from a spreadsheet like Google Sheets? Better yet, how can I delete a prior Google Doc in a series of docs generated by IFT? All right, so let's check something out. All right, so we're back to if.com. Let's go back to just explore Google Sheets. And these questions are coming in hot. I'm liking them. So on Google Sheets, you have these triggers, all right? New spreadsheet, new worksheet in spreadsheet, new row added to spreadsheet, cell updated in spreadsheet. So actions, you can add rows to spreadsheets or update cells to spreadsheets. So if I were you, there could be a way where you like want to delete rows. You might want to do a bunch of actions depending on how many cells are in that specific row, and then update them with like 0 or just null. And that might solve the problem that you're talking about. Not exactly sure what the specific use case is. Can we create custom GPTs that in custom actions to trigger webhooks? What's up, Dion? That's a good question. So like, I'm kind of limited on ChatGPT right now. Let me see. Yeah, I would say, since you can send a webhook request inside of IFT, if you give ChatGPT that URL that you're trying to send to, then I don't see why I wouldn't be able to like send a webhook request to whichever URL you're talking about. Does that make sense? So that's a really good question. I like where your head's at. Yeah, I'd say try it out. I think it's a great idea. All right. Is there a way to create a random time trigger? I'd like my if GPT notifications to come at unexpected times through the day. Yes. I actually set up an automation, but this is still all in IFT. So like a lot of what your questions are asking is like these automations, you can just do all that in IFT. You don't need ChatGPT to do this. But I said there was a random function inside of Google Sheets, and that would randomize. I'd use date and time as my trigger. It would randomize a certain cell inside of Google Sheets, and then you can like set that as your date and time, and then so you have a specific date and time trigger that randomizes a function in Google Sheets, and then whatever like date and time you can pull out of that Google Sheet, you can set up another automation that pulls from there to send up a random notification. So yeah, you can play around with that. I think it's totally possible. All right, man, we've got a lot of questions in here. On the webhooks item, what would Yami look like? Been struggling ages. Yeah, what other questions do you have? What are y'all kind of playing around with IFT? I'd love to see some automations that you're talking about. I'm sampling weather data each hour and putting it in a spreadsheet. I'd like to retain only the last observation. Oh, so you're sorry, I need to show it for everybody. Okay, so this is interesting. So I'd like to retain only the last observation. So you want to update all those cells every single hour based on the weather data. I'd say use that whenever you're doing, let's just even do something right here. Let's go back. I'd say weather. You're going to create. All right. So y'all can see this right now. I'm going to hide you, Walter, real quick. Okay, so you're going to do current humidity. Okay. So what we would need to do, you want to do it every hour. So date and time, every hour at 00. I want to then post, come on, Google Sheets. Boom. I want to add a row to a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet name is, let's just say weather at another hour. They might not. Another hour. All right, creating, okay, formatted row. We're going to check time just temporarily. I'm going to do a query, and we're going to say weather underground. We're going to say current weather. Right now it's going the classic IFT office, but let's say NYC. Is there anything in New York City? Okay, cool. Let's do City Hall right here. 211 Broadway. We're going to create a query because I'm really curious about the weather in Broadway. And then we're going to add that row to the spreadsheet. If I were you, add ingredients, you want to click current weather. All right. So we want to say, let's say current temp, current condition. That's a good one. This time, we'll do that. So the first row is going to be check time. The second row is going to be current condition. All right. We're going to update to current weather, update action. Boom. You're right. So this is going to say, this is basically going to add a new row every single time. Creates a new row to spreadsheet. Let's do another Google Sheets. Update spreadsheet name is another hour value. Okay, cool. So we're going to update the A1, which is going to be our first value with every hour at. So I'm going to copy this. And the value is going to be boom. And then we'll update another cell. Is this making sense, Walter? You said I've done that from that. Okay. Hopefully this is making more sense because this is kind of how I would have done it if I were you. Let's do the is going to be B2, and you're going to add the ingredient current weather, and you're going to say current condition. All right. And so technically you're going to, or let's say that would be B1, looking back. Perfect. So you're going to add, initially you're going to add a row, and then it's going to update every single, the current weather onto those two specific columns. I don't know if that helped, Walter. I think that was a good idea, though. That was pretty fun. All right, Peter. In general, when should I use IFTTT versus IFT AI services like IFT AI Social Creator? Oh, thanks, Peter. So, all right. I think the ChatGPT tool is really good if you are manning the, if you're, manning the reins, right? So like I'm wanting to post to LinkedIn right now. Let me write a social post and then send that to LinkedIn using ChatGPT, or I'm wanting to write a tweet. Let me like manually kind of write that tweet inside of ChatGPT, and then sending it over there. So IFT AI is really cool if you want to almost scale your content production. So like, let's say I want to, I think even Jim mentioned this. So sheet to calendar to Twitter is how I schedule 6 months of tweets. I have it post during random times of the day between X and Y hours. But Jim also could like automate all of the content that he's posting using IFT. So like, how can I generate, 60 posts within IFT? You can do let's just cancel all of this. Inside of, IFT.com, you can say like sheets. We're going to create, I always do this. I should have just went to the create button. We go sheets. We're going to say new row added to spreadsheet. All right. Enter folder path, social posts. Social posts. And create trigger. Okay. And I need to create a new spreadsheet. So let's just go to sheets. What I'm doing here is I need a trigger that allows me to like add a bunch of content ideas, right? So like, let's do blank spreadsheet. So like, let's just say this is social posts. And then I copy this URL and I throw it back over here. I'm going to delete these. Do this right here. Boom, create trigger. And then query social creator. I want to generate a social media on Twitter. Let's do, the topic is going to be column A. And then I want it to be funny. I want it to be English. And then I want to, let's just say I want to add another, like, I want to add a update spreadsheet. Would that be a good one? Column D. I'm not sure. This might be the best way to do it. I'm trying to think of what would be the best method. So let's do, this is new row added to spreadsheet. Let's go back. I'm going to generate a social media post, and then I want to add, I don't want to add a row to spreadsheet. Let's do, you're right. Let's add another row to spreadsheet, but do it on just a different Google Sheet. Let's do, so let's do written. I don't know if this is exactly 100%. So let's run it. Let's do create action. And I don't want to do all of this. I just want to add the response from that formatted row right here. So I'm going to continue. I'm just going to say test, finish. So real quick, let's just play around with it. Let's just say funny tweet for marketers. Insightful tweet for marketers. Helpful tweet for marketers. And let's see if this works. I know this turned from a ChatGPT sandbox to just a IFTTT sandbox, but I think this is fun, guys. Let's do let me go find that drive file that I just created. All right, so it just ran 3 times. So if I refresh this page, oh, thanks, Kathy. So let me jump back over here. All right. So share this tab. All right, guys, y'all see that? So y'all saw me kind of just like write those 3 almost topics of like what to write a Twitter post about. And then it just pumps out actual Twitter posts that you could use, right? So if you are trying to think through almost scalable, like how can I write, 60, 120 days worth of content quickly within an hour, then you can use IFT to like pump out all of that content and then map it all out on a Google Sheet, right? So I think if you're talking about scale, IFT internally is a really good tool to do that. If you're wanting to do kind of one-off stuff or more manual stuff, I'd say ChatGPT and then push it out using IFT to like your Google Docs, your Google spreadsheets, a Slack message, an email message, right? So, or you can push it out directly to LinkedIn or Twitter. If you are kind of managing a social media account, that's not a bad idea. So I think that's probably the main differences between doing IFT AI internally on IFT or using ChatGPT to like use their AI tools. So, is that helpful? What's up, Kate? You posted a bunch. Oh, Reddit upvotes and downvotes. Man, Jim, that's a cool way to use IFT AI. Okay, what's up, Dion? Custom actions in custom GPTs is in YAML schema. All one needs to do is import YAML, add authentication. If I get that to work, I can create many specialized GPTs with webhooks as a trigger event. Okay, so I do want to say, Dion, that it's the ChatGPT IFT assistant is one way. So like I can't pump stuff inside of ChatGPT. I can only do stuff inside of ChatGPT and then pump it outwards. Hope that answers your question. Um, I like this idea though. Maybe in the future. I'm not sure how open OpenAI is going to be with their ChatGPT tool, but if they like add a bunch of open APIs, OpenAI has open APIs, then maybe we can build a tool on IFT, and then we can kind of pump stuff inside of ChatGPT. I think that'd be cool. Cool. Any other questions? We're kind of getting to the end of the hour. Hopefully this was helpful. I do want to show something that's been kind of cool that I've been doing on ChatGPT. Share this tape again. And it does take a little bit of warming up. So you've got ChatGPT open. So am I connected with New York Times, right? So you are currently connected with the New York Times. IFT has like, I don't know, Ben would know this answer. It's like 50 something like media companies. So like New York Times, Wall Street Post, BBT, and ESPN, right? So like a bunch of those just news publications, and you can like actually ping them and have them published inside of ChatGPT. So let's say you just have your ChatGPT open all day and you're like, I want to read some New York Times. You can say, hey, can you give me a history of articles from the business section of New York Times? And you can kind of customize your post prompt to be a little bit more specific, but then it'll literally just pull back the article URL, right? And like the title. And I thought that was a really cool, like you just use ChatGPT as your web scraper almost by using IFT to like ping a lot of those specific news publications. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay. So, Jim, you were mentioning Reddit upvotes and downvotes to IFT AI to Sheets to Calendar to Twitter. That's your whole setup. That's cool, dude. I'd say, yeah, that's awesome. That's one of the coolest applets I've seen. So, or series of applets. You might have a couple applets on there. But yeah, any other questions? Okay, perfect. Yeah. Sheets to Calendar to Twitter is how I schedule 6 months of tweets. I have it post during random times of the day between X and Y hours. Dude, I think that's a great automation. You need to jump on our live stream one day and show it off, right? You're here anyways. All right. You might as well come hang out with Ben and I live. Okay, here we go. So this is from Box Lane. To clarify the timetable question, you have a list of Google Sheets ranging from 1300 break, 1330 race resumes, 1400 race to send a message to Google Sheets or Discord at those times. There, I feel like a dummy. I'm sorry. There is probably a way you can automate this. I would say do it inside of IFT and not ChatGPT. But use like the 1:00 or 1:30 like date and time automation, and maybe use our Google Sheets query. So like, let's just run that real quick. Share this tab again. So on Sheets, pretty sure you can query the status of a specific row. So yeah, current values of a row. So like at 1 p.m., so you use date and time as your trigger. You use the query current values of a row of whatever like value you want to pull from Google Sheets, and then send that as a message to Discord. So your automation would look like, let's go create date and time. Nope, let's do every day at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. I want to send a message to Discord. Let's see if I don't know if I've got Discord connected. Post a message to a channel, or you can post a rich message to a channel. I don't have Discord. Let's see. This might be a wild hair. Okay, I don't have my Discord login set up. But like, for example, you can say a Slack message, right? Kind of same, post to a channel, say direct messages to Ben Terrell. All right, I want to tell Ben the value of that Google Sheet, right? So create an action, and then you're going to query the sheets, the current value of whichever cell you're talking about. So A2 or C12, you want to query that specific value and then send it to whichever Discord person you want to send it to, or Slack person you want to send it to. I think that's answering your question. Let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. Oh, wait. I wasn't even showing the screen. My bad. So let's go back. I just want to show you all this. So every day at 1 p.m., you're going to post to Discord. I've chose Slack as here as an example. And you're going to click this button in the center. You're going to click Query. You're going to click Google Sheets. And you're going to pull the value of a specific cell. So it could be A2, B12, etc. Right? So whichever cell that you want to share with that the user or the audience on Discord you want to share with them, just try and choose that specific cell. Hopefully that answered your question. The tricky one, that seems easy. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry I wasn't sharing my screen earlier. It's kind of moving pretty quick. Cool. Well, guys, we're hitting the end of the hour. Thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun. Should we do this more often? Like just kind of have pretty laid back streams where you can just, play around with me, right? Play around with the tool together. I think this was fun. What's up, Lilith? Your expertise and passion for this topic is truly inspiring. Thank you. This was cool. What's up, Kathy? Yeah, I like sweet. Well, let's do more of these. I know in the next couple of weeks, Ben and I are going to play around with a new YouTube AI tool that we're kind of building on IFT. It helps you kind of, ideate a lot of YouTube ideas, like just scripts, titles, descriptions. And just like what we were talking about earlier, where like IFT is really good to how can I almost mass produce content at scale. So like I want to, set a goal of posting weekly for the next year. I need to generate 50 ideas, right? So I'll just pull up my Google spreadsheet, throw down, I could use Google Chat GPT and just say generate 50 YouTube ideas, and then copy and paste that into Google spreadsheet. And then it will automatically generate like the YouTube titles, the descriptions, the scripts to even talk about. So then as the content creator, all you have to do on your end is just open up your list of YouTube ideas and film, right? So, well, thanks for joining Box Lane. This was awesome. Everybody else, thanks for being here. This has been cool. Let me see. Let's see if I missed any questions. Again, let me just refresh this. Yeah, if we do this again, let me just throw this away. Yeah, what other things do you want to talk about? Do you want us to talk about like social media creation? That's something we can definitely talk about. Like, how do I think through, how can I create, 60 social posts? Like what topics do I want to talk about, and how could I almost train a GPT and Chat GPT to like use my voice and my tone to like write all these posts? That might be a good another live stream. Cool. Well, love it. Thanks, Terry. This has been great. Well, cool, guys. We're hitting the end. I really appreciate hanging out with you guys. This was really fun. If y'all have any questions, feel free to email ben.terrell@if.com. Says he wasn't here. Send him a bunch of emails. Prompt engineering for sure. Let's do it. All right, we'll set up a schedule where we're gonna do prompt engineering in the future. But that'd be cool. And yeah, keep an eyes peeled. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to be notified when we go live again. We've got another one booked for next Friday. I'm fairly certain this is in the this is scheduled correctly, but it'll be next Friday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be talking to Claudia from Run Switchboard. So Switchboard is like a no-code, basically a no-code ops tool. It helps you kind of keep track of all of your no-code automations running across all your different platforms. But she runs their Discord channel and also does YouTube videos. So we're really excited to talk to her about how do you manage a Discord channel? You know, what are the metrics of engagement that you're looking at? How do you kind of keep your audience and your community engaged just every day, trying to like get people talking in those communities? So that's something I'm really excited about. Cool. And Jim, yeah, anything to do with content automation and syndication is great. All right. Well, thanks, guys. You've given us a lot of ideas of what to do in the future. So cool. All right. Well, I've got to bounce. I've got a meeting coming up, but thanks for hanging out with me, guys. This was really fun. See you guys next week.